The coronavirus hitting the entertainment industry now. Disney temporarily closing its theme parks in both Shanghai, also in Hong Kong, due to the outbreak. And China made the costly choice to close about 70,000 movie theaters as well at the start of the Lunar New Year, which is weighing now on shares of AMC and also IMAX. And joining us right now is Alexia Quadrani. She is the media analyst at JPMorgan. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So help us try to understand how long you think, I don't know if you know, but how long can this go on, and what is every day worth?
It's going to go on for a while, I think, because they're going to be very careful. It looks like they're being very careful with the actions that the government has already taken. Every day is worth a lot. Let's look first at Disney, for example. What we do know is that Shanghai is profitable, Shanghai Disneyland. Right. It's closed. To give you perspective, Hong Kong Disneyland, while it was still open but dealing with the disruptions of the protests and stuff, management had guided to an $80 million loss in the fiscal first quarter. And that was while the revenue was still coming in. So you have to assume that the hit per quarter for Shanghai Disneyland would be greater than that.
How big of a deal is this for Disney overall? The parks that are there?
I don't think it's a huge deal from an investor perspective, from a stock perspective right now, because one, they're going to frame it in a couple of weeks on the earnings call, so we'll be able to model it and kind of know what we're dealing with.
We heard that February 4th?
Yes, yep. I think that. But also, the focus, as you guys know, is on Disney Plus and their growth strategy and streaming. So I'm not saying it's not relevant. It is relevant. It's important. It will take numbers down, but it's not the focal point of investors.
But if this goes on for 3-4 weeks, then at what point would you?
I think it'll go more than
you
that.
Think it's, you think it's 6 weeks?
I think at least. Yeah, I think
at least.
But we were talking before about schools being closed down through the middle of February. If people don't want to send their kids to school and authorities are worried about kids going to school, something like an entertainment that you don't have to do, it's an option.
People are not going to go. Right. I think they'll keep it closed, I would assume, at least for the calendar first quarter. And then you start talking about the hit to the movies, right? Mulan comes out, which is a big movie that should have played well, or will play well, I should say, eventually in China.
A live-action Mulan?
Yeah, the live-action Mulan in the end of March. So if the movie theaters stay closed, that also begins to impact the studio business a little bit for Disney.
And when you think about AMC and IMAX, same story, but how much can they lose?
Well, we know IMAX better since we don't cover AMC, and it's a big deal. 30% of revenues of IMAX comes from China. Movie theaters are closed. They had 4 films coming out on the Lunar New Year, so those are are either postponed or one of them's already been sold, I think, to streaming, so it's not going to come out at all.
Is this a buying opportunity to get these stocks cheaper? And I guess that the thesis for that would be that this is a 6-week or 2-month hit, and then it goes away and things resume as normal. Is that your best guess of how we play it right now?
I would lean toward that, but the problem is that, any investor wants to buy a stock, wants to have a sense of what the earnings impact is going to be, and we have no idea if it's 2 weeks or 2 months. So you're kind of going into a little bit blind. Again, maybe a bit more of a deal for IMAX because it's a bigger percentage of their revenue than for Disney, where it's a little bit less relevant.
Let me ask you a question, because you mentioned this idea of certain movies that just won't be a release. What other media companies will get hit by this because of movies that are supposed to come out, let's say, in the next 2-3 months, that may be impacted?
The good news is calendar Q1 is not a huge calendar for the box office, so there's not a lot of other big titles that are coming out. But if this stays an issue until June, there will be other films from other studios that will be impacted. No question. No question.
And I know you know AMC less, but you were saying, between what do you think happens to that business? And again, that to me, AMC to me will lose even more money, because I would assume that you're looking at a company that what's their number now? It's more than 30%.
What'd you say for IMAX? Or for
IMAX
is 30% of revenues comes from China.
What's the percentage from AMC?
I have no idea. I've never covered it, so I don't know. But what I would say is the take rate out of China is smaller. It's about 25% versus close to 50%. So a little bit of different story. So.